Hey there, and welcome to Just a Flower podcast, a new podcast where I, Mario Velez, go through the most beginner level topics, the most entry level steps of what it means to be a human being on Earth in a way that feels like you are living a miracle. And what does that mean? A miracle, living a miracle. What are you talking about? Are you Christian? Are you a Jesus lover? Oh, I mean, do you want to have a fantastic life? Do you want to have not every single dream come true, but even more than that, even more than what you thought was possible to happen in your life in just a way that seems as if it was meant to be? You don't need to be any kind of religion. You don't need to be any kind of set of beliefs. In fact, any person who listens to this podcast and walk with me through this journey of how I myself became this person who's, people have said that I've been graced by the Holy Spirit. People have said that Jesus is close to me when I was young and Catholic, when I was atheistic or non-secular. People said, is it non-secular or secular? I always get those two confused. But when I was pushing away the dogma and the religion in my teenage phase, I was more spiritual. People said I was wise. People said I was considerate. People said I was easy to talk to. Even today, just with the one podcast, I've had over 500 views on the shorts, the most popular one being meditation, how to meditate, which we covered in the very first episode. I'll put a link in YouTube right up in the corner, the little flags. I'll put some kind of link somewhere in Spotify, whatever it takes to get you to the first, number one, most basic rule of this journey that we're on. Just breathe. And it's as simple as that. Just breathe with a little bit of attention to that breathing. Just breathe a little bit on purpose for a moment, for an instant, for half a second, for a full second, for 30 seconds, for a minute. I have, I think, 20 plus shorts, TikToks, videos, 1 minute meditations on my channel at Comfy Here. If that's just too much, then just take a moment right now. Just take a moment when your friend tells you to. Whatever it is that you're doing, just breathe. Just breathe on purpose. Trust me. You're going to think you're on some kind of weird thing. You're going to think, what is so special about this? Close them eyes, man. Just breathe. Trust me. Trust me. And I even got somebody, I got an old friend who I shared the video with, who I shared the podcast with, and they were like, I get it, but I don't know. I'm a little pessimistic. They don't sound like that. They sound much, much nicer. But the next moment they were like, actually, you're right. I kind of do need to breathe. We even had like breathing exercises in high school when we were in band, when we were in choir, my wife said, when we were doing this, someone else said, and they did help. I'm telling you, just breathe. Everybody needs a reminder. Don't kick yourself in the butt. I'm summing up the whole first episode for everybody who missed it. And for all those people who fell asleep 15 minutes in. Because, we were looking at the stats. People watch for about 18 minutes. My wife was like, yeah, really? What time usually? Well, I posted it at night. Well, okay. So at night, people are watching this. They're listening to it for about 18 minutes. A bunch of people saw the whole thing. But 18 minutes? What do you think that sounds like? What do you think it sounds like, Mario? My wife told me. And I was like, oh, they're falling asleep. Yeah, I've got a nice voice, very ASMR, if you will. And I'm getting more and more comfortable with myself being a silly little person like I always am. But if you chuckle, if you love my voice, if you want to hear more, you're gonna have to subscribe, like, love, heart, share, send to the FBI, consult your priest, tell your doctor about being comfy and breathing. Side effects may not need to apply. Anyway, welcome everybody to the second episode. This one called Automatic Being. I hesitated there I almost said being automatic, but really they're kind of interesting. Automatic being automatic. What's the difference really? What's the real difference? What is there? What am I even talking about, right? Well, if you're new to these spaces, what a lot of people will tell you is that when you do focus on your breath, if you decide, okay, no, I want to really do this like the best way. How can I get the best results from breathing, from sitting here and just focusing on my breath? Some of you may be naturals at it. I was for sure. And when I did it, it was awesome. It was fantastic. I just needed a little nudge here and there from certain mystics, from certain masters of breathing, from certain spiritual people, certain new age types, and even some atheists, even some people who have no intention of going into the hocus pocus or the mystery of it all or the crazy stuff that people call crazy that many people think is normal in certain circles. When you sit, focus, and breathe, there's only a few things that you need to adjust, probably. And friends are there. There are beautiful people everywhere. Just like a garden, man. Can you dig it? Today's poem. Let's read it. Let's do this, yeah? Yeah? Let's have it out. Can I Mario, what did you do? You lost the poem you just wrote. No, I'm kidding. It's here. It's here. Just give me a second. There it is. And I will be collecting all of these poems that I'm writing for everybody and going, oh my God, look at how many we wrote. And here you go, a book. Anyway, automatic being. They sway from left to right, these grumpy people, only problems in their sight. They don't always bark. They are already. What? Oh, I messed up. Look at that. Mistakes. Oh no, they happen. let's start from the top. From the top. Automatic being. They sway from left to right, these grumpy people, only problems in their sights. They don't always bark. They rarely ever mark. But once done, they know it, like the sunrise and set. Automatic. Mimicry, lessening the mystery, the miracle and scene. This is that, and that is this. Never a fact can they miss. So as they go about their lives, collecting everything deemed nice, a funny feeling follows them, a feeling like others judge them. So quickly and with righteousness, some automatic critique is given. Some stay that way for days, for decades, for all the life they have left. Then another, just like them, human, flawed, and maybe a friend, ask, what is this? This funny feeling. All at once, they need forgiving. It's not like they did anything wrong. They just happen to feel a song, a tune, a melody, but not of music. No, this thing is a lullaby for the mind, its traps, and any kind of relapse into automatic con-insistent happening inside. No, some sit and with a smile, maybe even cry. They look inside and wonder why. Why am I such and such? The answers there, hidden in plain view, address the question as if they're shy. You got caught inside the mind when others taught how to walk and talk. It's not a fault, but rather a miracle, so sharp and clean it learns when seeing. But now you wonder what can be if I close my eyes to see my dreams. My lovely friend, my wonderful flower, you have begun a change within this hour. Oh my goodness. What can we say about that? Yes? Automatic being automatic. We're born into this world not empty, really. I mean, you could say empty of memory, empty of assumption, empty of knowledge. But are we empty? We, motorcycle. Are we empty, really? What does it mean to be empty? A lot of people think, oh, there's nothing behind those eyes. That brain is as smooth as water. It is rough to get something in there, right? But you don't need the deepest wrinkles to be full. A koala can tell you that. Well, technically speaking, koalas will literally just eat anything until they die. But anyway, it's eucalyptus usually. My point is, we're not born empty. If we were born empty, we wouldn't become anything. I'm not talking about people who lack a mind, people who lack learning capability. Don't address these things with such a narrow point of view. We're talking about being alive. We're talking about being in general. What do you mean? What do you mean being? You're talking about this automatic being. You're talking about being automatic. What's the difference? What do you mean? All righty. Let's get to the nitty gritty and let's keep it simple, right? So that way people who have no time, they listen to this, they get out, right? Being, just like a flower, just like everybody is. Being is focusing on putting down the mind, not breaking it down, not telling it it's a clown, not trying to get it out of your way for any particular thing. Because that's something that initially I thought was what it meant to be. Get the mind out of the way, kill it if you can. But that doesn't do anything. That doesn't really do anything. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there. There are plenty of people out there, grammar, who, when they sit and they try to be, they think, oh, there's too much mentality, there's too much mind. We're going to get to the very bottom of it. But like last time, I'm going to need you to invest just a tiny bit of your time, okay? Not a whole 30 minutes. I'll make it 20 this time. And if that's still too long, then I'll make it 10 next time. And if that's still too long, well, you're going to have to wait at least after the poem, okay? I can't, come on, this is the thing, all right? Anyway, my point is that being doesn't mean killing your mind. And there's this concept, especially in New Age circles, and when there's meditation involved, and a lot of it, and a lot of discussion about this kind of stuff, people address the mentality, the internal voice, the mechanism that holds the beliefs in place, the mechanism that recognizes things. First, as a child, you cognize everything is new, everything is stimuli, everything is amazing, it's insane, right? And you just happen to fall in love with a few things. One of my kids fell in love with a toilet, and he used it like a little mini pool. He fucking stood in there anytime in diapers. He was just like flush water spinning around his feet. You know what I mean? Another one of my kids, they fell in love with drawing. Another one of my kids, they fell in love with fire, and that can be dangerous. Be careful. So what I'm talking about isn't necessarily to empty yourself. We are just putting down one tool that we use. One tool that we use. Why is it important, though? Why is it important, Mario? What does that have to do with being? Well, that's the thing. We're always a human being. We're always a human being. But the mind, the tool that the mind isn't necessarily just being. A lot of the time, it's doing. It's doing constantly. It's doing all the time. And if you don't put down the doing, you're not going to have time to breathe even. That's something that my father had said a long time ago. Man, if I had time enough if I just focused on pumping out all my ideas, I wouldn't have time to breathe. And I get it. life is awesome. Life is intense, but so are you. You are awesome. Your brain is awesome. It's constantly doing stuff. It's so cool. It's so cool that on this planet, there is nothing else like your brain. If you were alone on the planet, you would think you were a god. You'd be the only one coming up with very specific words. You'd find out that dogs can remember things and phrases and sounds. You would domesticate, you would hunt, you would find, you would seek, and you would be curious. You would explore. You would learn faster than anything else in the world. Check out how fast a chimp learns. Chimps are 99.9 something percent similar to us as human beings. Check out how quickly they learn. A lot of them can't understand, they don't understand the tricks. They can't be taught the same way. That's how incredibly miraculous and how much further along on the evolutionary tree that we are. And I'm going to mix those two together. I'm going to mix a lot of science and spirit together in this, okay? I gotta. It's too easy. I love things. I love the whole world the way it is. And it's just too easy to understand that this world is crazy put together in a miraculous way. It is for me anyway. Maybe if you stick around. Oh no, camera shake. Maybe if you stick around, you'll start seeing things the way that I see them. And if you don't want to do that, you're still awesome. You're still a mind and you're still a body. And in between, you got that soul pancaked right in there. And we'll talk more about the soul and what I think that is. We'll talk more about the aliveness of a certain individual on another episode. Right now, we're going to focus on very basic stuff. The very first episode, I boiled it down as much as I possibly could. Just breathe. Just breathe. And I'm telling you with all my heart, with all of my passion, with everything inside, with everything around me, breathing is so important. Look at the calendar. Bitch, you are worth it. Just breathe, all right? And right underneath all that, you'll see how busy I get. It just fills up every day, more and more plans, more and more things to do. Chillax, yo. Chill. Relax. Ease into yourself and just breathe. We're hitting that 20-minute mark in just about 3 minutes here, and we're going to get there. We're going to get there very, very soon. So, what is it? What is being, and why is it so important? Again, you do, you won't be you. It's not going to happen. Promise, promise. What I am a firefighter. I am a soldier. I am a warrior. I'm a cop. I'm a person. I'm a nice guy. I'm a bad person. Whatever you tell yourself you are, before you're any of that, you're a baby. Okay? Please remind yourself that. Before you know a damn thing, before you even learn that words exist, before you know that you're hungry, before you've taken your first shit, you are a baby. What is a baby? It's empty in its mind. It's weak in its muscle. It's pretty strong. It's got the grip, right? But it's pretty weak compared to a full-grown man, right? Why would you compare those two things? I know, it's silly. But we got to look at it. We got to look at it for what it is. It's so important to pay attention. And I'm not asking you to do a lot. I'm asking you to pay just a little bit of attention to what you are really deep down inside and to your breathing. The very first thing that you try to do, the very first thing that you need to do, not necessarily with a cry, just breathing. Just breathing. So, being. What is being? And what is this whole business of being an automatic being? Well, that's the good news. That's the awesome thing about this. We automatically are beings, and then we pick up thoughts, and then we pick up traits, and then we pick up mimicking certain ideas, and then we pick up ideals, and then we pick up reasons, and after that we pick up, before any of that, we pick up desire. First, it's just for all the things that love us, and we desire all the things that love us, and if we don't like them, we cry. We let everyone know, oh, this is horrifying. This is despairing. I hate it. but with tears and no words, just a baby's cry. And you know, a lot of babies don't even like sleeping. They're already awake. I want to be alive. I want to be alive. Go figure, right? They got to sleep, though. They have to do it. 20 minutes in. So, what is this? What is this whole thing? You're automatically a being. You're automatically a being. And then you learn to be automatic. Once you cognize a thing, once you put it inside, once you say, this is important, once you realize, no, I need to keep this, whether it is through trauma, whether it is through love, whether it is through sadness or anger, whether it is through survival, ickiness and grossness, whether it is discomfort or pleasure, you have become automatic at a certain point. And we tend to stay that way for a long time. It's a really rare thing right now. It'd be nice if it wasn't so rare, because then I would have a lot more friends who get it. But it's a really big deal how automatic people are. And it's really rare to hear anybody not being that way for a really long time. Some people never get the chance to not be automatic. Some people have to automatically get up and work. Some people have to get up and get the water from the river a mile away. Some people have to clean that water. They got to do it. They don't got the time in the day, and damn it, there's only 24 hours, and it's not even bright all those hours. The clock lies. You don't have a 24-hour day. You've got maybe 10 or 12. If it's cold, goodbye 3 or 4 of those, right? If you're near the equator, nice. You got it easy. It's pretty much even throughout the year. But man, that day, it does not quit. It's just as automatic, isn't it? And you're over here thinking to yourself, man, this guy wants me to just focus on my breath. I ain't got the time. I'm not talking to people who aren't watching this podcast, yo. I'm not talking to people who are already busy. They don't have the time. They don't got it. I heard just today, because I have been so busy myself, I've been busy trying to stay light, stay breathing. I've been busy with my children who are growing in very young ages, but also one a teenager. I've been busy with getting them into a good school, doing the right things for them, getting food, cooking, cleaning, because I'm the at-home dad. And you know what? I fucking love it. It's super good. Try it. It would be cool. I I'm busy. I've kept busy. It's my own fault. It's something I'd rather do than just sitting and playing games. And I play games. I've got the computer for it. I've got a PS5, but it's not all about games. It's about what makes me feel alive. And what makes me feel alive is that my children feel alive. So I've been very busy. I sit down. My wife comes back from work and she says, "Oh my goodness, did you hear?" I was like, "What? Oh no, what happened?" "Oh, a shooting in Ohio." One so dreadful, I hesitate to share, because it is a sweet and terrible despair. And I don't mean sweet as in a precious way or in a rich way. It's just overwhelming. It's a despair so intense you need to get it out of your mouth. Like it's just overly bitter. It's terrible, really. I'll let you look up the details, but suffice it to say, the long and short of it is a man decided to inflict as much pain as possible on a mother. And the only thing you need to do is take away the lovely things in their lives. Angry, upset, sad, and so broken up by this. Just hearing about it. And what do you think would have happened? What do you guys think would have happened? Tell me in the comments. Like, share, ask. What do you think would have happened? if a father would have breathed just a little bit more. They showcase this kind of stuff in modern shows now. There's a show called F is for Family, made, written, directed by Bill Burr. Amazing talent, super good guy, who has almost all of the same tropes as this very American father figure who lived in Ohio, who found it impossible not to do a certain thing, right? It's a choice, sure. It's a choice, but once you're determined enough, once your mind tells you it's time to go, it's time to go, no waiting, no sitting, no being, no breathing, there is no way to change that mind because it's the mind that you are only. There's nothing else in there. And the mind is yelling and screaming and tearing you up inside. Mario, what happened in the nice positive thoughts? Oh my God. Give it a minute, okay? Give it a minute. We've got to go through these things. We've got to go through some of the dark things in order to understand why the light is so important. And if you wonder, man, he's been on it for a minute. It's only been 5 minutes since the part where I said what the trick is for this episode. Only 5. Isn't that amazing that time can warp like that just because we're focused on something a little dark? Isn't that incredible? Imagine what would happen if you took a minute to put down your mind, to just stop using it on purpose. We use the brain on purpose a lot. We use it a lot, so much we think that we are just the mind, just the mentality. And then we have no idea what it means to put it down. We have no idea what it means to get a break from it, right? So how do we get a break? Go back to episode 1. I'm telling you, listen to the whole damn hour, okay? It's important. Just breathe. I'm telling you. So what does it mean? What does it mean that these terrible things happen? It means that we're a little too tired of ourselves. But then we wonder, well, it's not my fault that I'm this terrible. I'm not bad to myself. I'm trying the best I can. I'm doing everything I know to do. Yeah. Yeah. If all you're using is your mind, which only really has its past, because very, very few people believe in dreams these days, then yeah, you're going to feel stuck in a rut between a rock and a hard place. Crazy part is it's 2 hard places and the rock is you. You're just wedged inside another stone. And that rock is made up of all the other tiny little pebbles that are all surrounding you. So what do you blame when you're the one feeling all the pressure? You blame everything outside of you. You blame everything outside of you. But we're human beings, right? We're crazy, miraculous mentalities with a body and some little bit of life inside that needs air and to pump that blood a little bit more, right? Not just the heart. The whole thing is alive. Imagine if you would. You are a rock in between 2 hard places. Maybe some other rocks with you stuck in the same place. And all of a sudden, you just take a moment and breathe. And you put the mind down. Now I'm going to tell you how. At first, you sit and you think, oh, God, I can't stop thinking. Oh, and you're thinking about everything. You're thinking about all the things that bothered you and all the things before you and everything that's going to happen that's wrong. Maybe you're thinking about all the dreams that you have, but man, they're so far away. How am I going to get there? How do I get my dreams to come true? It's so difficult. I'm so stuck. Jeez. And all the while you're breathing, but you forgot. Oh, you're just thinking and Mario said to breathe, but I can't. Just breathe. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. First, start changing your mind about that. Very simple. Just takes a little bit of attention. And all you need to do is say this, say it out loud, say it on paper, say it with a pen, write it on your arm if you need to, get a tattoo on your hand, whatever it takes to just start changing your mind a little bit at a time, okay? especially if you're older. It's going to take a little bit longer. You're very, very hard right now because you've been so you for so long. Take a little bit of time and just tell yourself, I am going to just breathe. I am going to just breathe. Just say it out loud. Your mind will start to believe it the more you say it. Your mind is actually in your control. And if you don't believe that, try to say it out loud. If you're lying to yourself, say it out loud until you start believing it. Trust me, your brain is going to change. Your brain is going to change. That can happen. Is it going to change everything? Well, I think that takes time. I think that you might be jumping the gun if you're wondering, what else can I do with this? Go with it naturally. Feel for it. But listen to your mouth and the words you're saying. I am going to just breathe, right? And then watch. What? Watch what? Watch your thoughts. But you just told me to just breathe. Okay, take a minute. Yeah, okay. First of all, remember how silly this is, all right? It's okay to laugh about all this. It is okay to laugh. Yeah, that shooting still happened, yes, in Ohio. Terrible. But it's okay to laugh. It is okay to laugh. Where are you right now? Are you in the middle of that? No. Remember, you're just trying to be. And the very first thing about being is there's only one moment to be in. You can't be in the past. You can't be in the future. That's all in your mind. That's all imagination. But you can be right here, right now. Just right here, right now. The very, 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 very present moment. Hey, Mario, you forgot about that rock story. No, I didn't. Chill. We're walking through the process. Chillax. Okay? Just be, tell yourself, I can just breathe. I am going to just breathe. Yeah, you can, but what are you going to do? I am going to just breathe. Cool. Now you're practicing just breathing, and the thoughts keep on trickling in. They just seep through the cracks and go straight into your breath, and then you get lost in your thoughts again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. You're getting lost in your thoughts, huh? All right. You got any cool people to call upon? Use them. You live a secular life? I get it. Cool. We're going to get right to it then. Bare bones, bottom line. How do we do this thing? How do I just be? I'm going to start adding a little bit of space, and I want you to do it with me. I have thoughts. I do. I do. I still have thoughts. Oh no, my phone. Oh no, my phone. What is happening? I have my thoughts, but I also have my awareness. I am sensitive. Oh man, I'm gonna pause this and listen to this kid. Hello, hello. Yes, I'm in the middle of a podcast, son. Do you need something? Fantastic. If you could please message and call mom next time, that would be so much better for me, buddy. No, you're okay. You're okay. No problem. I love you. Love you. See you soon, and I will be recording when you get here. So please, a little quiet, okay? Okay. Thanks, bud. Bye. I'm gonna leave that in there. I think it's important. You guys need to see my life is real and it's before me. Anyway, here we go. So you're a rock. You're in between two hard places. You're stuck and you keep on thinking about everything around you that's making it hard, the pressure and the pain. And then someone tells you, hey, chillax, just breathe. And you do. And the first time you do it, it does work and it's easy. And you're like, man, I needed to just breathe. Oh man, I'm just going to breathe more. But then it's the next day and you've noticed you're a little deeper in the cracks. It's actually getting harder. And you tell yourself, I'm going to just breathe. I'm going to just breathe. But the thoughts today are just, oh, it's like more rocks and more pressures being added. What do I do? What do I do? How can I just breathe now? I'm a rock in a hard place. What do I do? It's okay. Watch your thoughts. Oh, but I don't want to. They're so tough and hard and they're so annoying. Okay, well, I need you to understand something. I need you to really take this into heart. If you really want to learn how to get from where you are to where I am right now, which is no different, it's a tough place. I'm in the same boat as you, but I'm happy as hell. I'm happy as heaven. Hell, let's not go there, right? I'm blissful all the time. I love my life. I could cuss right now. I love it so fucking much. How do you get here? Well, I'm going to let you know. It's this very small amount of attention, a very small amount of awareness. Just pay attention to your thoughts. Oh, I don't wanna. Okay, but think about this. What did you just say and how did you say it? What did you say it with? I don't want to? I don't want to? Is it your body saying that? Is it your breath saying that? No. You set it up here first. You set it in that little noodle, that little mess of spaghetti. You set it in the really wrinkly thing that looks just like mold if you look under a microscope, right? And you see the neurons growing. They grow just like a fungus, right? You are thinking thoughts on top of your thoughts. Automatically, it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I said that a lot in the first podcast. I'm telling you right now, do not blame yourself. You are just doing that. It's you don't even know you're doing it because you don't think you're doing anything. Your brain is so stuck on that path. It's hard to be quiet. I get it, man. I've been there. I'm a crazy imaginative person, just like my dad before me. It's really easy for me to go from one thing to another. If you can't tell, I've been tangenting my way through how to get out of a rock and a hard place mode. Hello, it's taking like another 10, 15 minutes to get through that story. It's because there's so much to talk about in this. It's because there's so much to talk about in this little moment of just trying to breathe. Isn't that incredible? I even thought about talking about some really intense mystical stuff today, and my everything in me said, nope, we got to keep it basic. We got to start from ground zero, from level nothing. So, a little bit of attention to the fact that you have thoughts, that they pop up, they come from your mind. They're not coming from nowhere or anywhere in particular. They're made up of a bunch of little things. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. You're going to forget, and then you're going to go back to your normal breathing, which is a little bit more shallow, isn't it? Have you noticed that? When you just sit down and you just breathe, you do it, and I'm going to do it. Okay. I've been not really paying attention to my breathing too much during this podcast. Now I'm going to breathe. You haven't even heard me breathe, right? Right. Now I'm going to breathe on purpose. Let's see. A nice long sigh can be all you need to make a better day happen, to make that better day start. And it's just breathing. And do you know why? Do you know why breathing can be relaxing? Your muscles need oxygen in order to relax. Your muscles are asking from the blood in you, going through your veins, which hits every single bit. I swear my phone. Which hits every single bit of your being. The phone ringing is like your thoughts. It's intrusive. It comes out of nowhere. But like everything else in your body, oxygen is needed in order to relax the muscles. Are you seeing where I'm going with this hard rock in a tough place story? Rock in a hard place. My goodness, my words. Oh my. You see where I'm going? Relaxing. How'd you get deeper in that pressure, right? You didn't move, but you smoothed out. You relaxed a little bit. What's going to happen if you relax completely? What's going to happen if you really take breathing to heart? Can you take this idea with you everywhere? Can you breathe everywhere? Dude, yeah. Yes, you can. I'm going to tell you a little secret. That's what I do. I love it. I'm breathing all the time. Even now, I have to take a breath here and there just to remember it's not all about the podcast. It's about everything. I'm in the whole thing. The whole life is for me. Your whole life is for you. So, you're paying attention to your thoughts. You're reminding yourself you don't need to think on top of your thoughts. You're breathing on purpose. It's nice deep breaths. Thoughts happen because you're so automatically doing that right now. As you become more sensitive, you start losing yourself in those thoughts. And then you wonder why. Okay, the wondering is also a thought. Any kind of internal monologue, any kind of thought about thoughts is just a layered thought. You're just thickening your mind in that moment. And thoughts are heavy. They're like baggage. That's what they are. They're just baggage. You're holding on to something. It's got weight. It's real. If you don't believe me, try to think about a bunch of crap that happened to you before. Trauma, happiness, whatever. It's got weight to it. It goes through you. You feel it, okay? And a lot of people want to say that psychology, sure, it's also called emotional energy. It's also called, the way that your soul is manifesting your life, whatever you want to call it. Your thoughts have weight to them within the experience of being human. And in order to get that weight off of you, just for a moment, because you're going to need your thoughts. You're not supposed to, don't become a friggin' husk. Don't become an animal, okay? This is not pure instinct, okay? This is very, very purposeful. This is very, very on purpose. That's why you kept doing this. That's why you kept coming here. That's why you listened to the whole first episode, because you want something very specific. You want to feel better about everything. You want to be more alive. You want to breathe. You do. And you're doing it on purpose. And then you're having those thoughts. You forget that you're breathing on purpose with the thoughts being so thick. And then you notice, because of that little bit of attention I told you to put, you notice that you're thinking, here is the next step. And you're going to mess this up too. I did it for years. I messed up all the time. It's okay. You're going to judge yourself because you've done that a lot. You're going to tell yourself, oh no, I'm thinking with your thoughts. Isn't it silly? Laugh about it. It's okay. You're ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. Everybody's ridiculous. It's a crazy world. We're the only things on the planet that think, and we're doing it so much that it hurts. What? How is that a thing? Chillax, my friends. Just be for a moment. Just take another deep breath. Just sigh. Go ahead. If you want. I like to go, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's gonna matter just as much as you want it to. That's okay. Okay? So you're gonna mess up a lot. You're gonna fumble. You're gonna have those thoughts. Come back down to that. Just awareness. Just a little bit of attention to your air, to your breathing. Pay attention to the way it feels, whether it's through your nasal cavities or it's, oh my. Sometimes sirens go off. Sometimes you're screwed. You've got to get up. You got to do something. A panic situation occurs. An emergency happens. You got to go. You got to go right now. You got to use your brain right now, even though you're tired. I know. These things happen in life, man. These things happen. But you know what? You can always come back. There's always a moment when you can come back. If you don't come back, you've gone. You're not here anymore. It's not something you need to worry about. In fact, everyone else is going to be very, very sad and cry for you and say, oh, they're gone. They can't breathe ever again. Calm yourself. My mother used to say, cálmate, cálmate. Because I'm Puerto Rican, I used to speak Spanish a lot. Cálmate, pobrecito. And I just need you to do that. You want to follow in my footsteps? You want to become happy all the time? You want to be just totally full of bliss? Then go ahead and just calmly pay attention. Don't add more thoughts. Don't layer the thinking. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I made. It took me almost a whole damn year to finally realize, oh man, layered thinking's a thing. And it wasn't in like books or anything. It wasn't in any book that it said, don't layer your thinking. I came up with that in my, I haven't heard it anywhere else. If you guys have ever heard that from somewhere, I'd love to see it, and I'll buy the book. I'll read it. But definitely do not start judging yourself over this stuff, man. I need you to look back. I need you to look at your relatives. If you start judging yourself, go ahead and look at your relatives. Mario, what about The Rock? Chill. Look at those relatives. Look at people around you. Look at your neighbors. Look at anybody. Look on the news, right? Some pretty terrible news. Those people, they probably weren't even in a place as bad, and yet they act like they were in the worst place ever imaginable on Earth, right? Just take a look at that, okay? You are better than some. You are worse than others. It's okay. Do not judge, and do not judge yourself. Don't judge others either. Some people haven't heard this podcast yet. Some people have nothing to go off of. Some people have the worst examples of every kind of thing out there. There's good and bad of everything. Some people have the worst, okay? So, don't judge yourself. Don't trip harder. Don't try to pick up and then fall and then pick up and fall. Chillax. Calmate. Chillax. Relax and chill. Again, go back to the breath. Go back to the breathing. Was it a lot you just went through in your head? Sigh. Was it just a little thought? Did you catch it? Oh, good job. Good job. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're becoming a purposeful person. Look at you. Were you able to meditate for a whole 5 minutes? Look at that. And how many of these have you watched? How much have you really done? How much work have you put into it? Me, I've been doing this for, I knew when I was 21, I started doing this stuff. And I picked it up and I did it for a while, for a long time, with nothing really strict. I just felt for it. I just did it and felt, when I got to the good feeling, I just got up and left. I didn't do any particular practice or position. Sometimes I was sitting, sometimes I was standing, sometimes I was walking, sometimes I had my eyes open, but I was focusing on the breathing while looking at things. Sometimes I was at work, sometimes I was at school, sometimes I was high, sometimes I was drunk, sometimes I was smoking crazy stuff, sometimes I was doing crazy things. For a whole 5 years in my youth, I was a basket of chaos, but I was focusing on my breathing. So the chaos seemed to happen with this ease, with this naturalness. And people would say, my goodness, what is around you? And if they didn't believe in any of that stuff, then they said, how do you do that? I got a story for you later. I'm going to tell you a really good story. One of my best friends and I experienced when I was in college getting into this. And it's a good one, but let's get back to you. Let's get back to the rock in a hard place. That rock, it nudged itself down just from smoothing out a little bit for that one day, and it got harder, right? You're becoming more sensitive to the things around you. You're becoming more sensitive to the things that are uneasy, that disease you. Right? Now just put a little bit of attention on your thoughts, and do not judge them. Do not judge yourself for having them. Do not look at them as if they're evil or good. Your thoughts are the ones that judge your thoughts. Your mind, your beliefs, they're the thing that are judging everything that's going on past your brain. You've had a layered mind this entire time. You've been going yes, no, yes, no, yes, no to all the thoughts for so long that you didn't even realize there was a layer to your thinking. Boom, that's a short. Take a minute, take a second, take a moment, take an instant just to breathe. If you can do even partial breath, you're going to start getting better at it. I promise you. Everything takes practice. If you practice it wrong, you'll learn it wrong. Try to practice with excellence. And I'm telling you right now, you can't mess up breathing. unless there's something stopping you. And that thing that's stopping you is not you. It's part of your body, maybe. It's a disease. Maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe it's psychological. You are the thing that's breathing. You are the thing that is breathing, my friend. Sirens, oh my. You are the thing that is breathing. Okay? Take some solace in that. Take a little bit of time just to breathe, right? And when that thought comes back, when you forget and you notice, I'm not my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. I am just breathing. I am just being. You can tell yourself that. Some thoughts, some words in your mind, when you take your whole body and you pay attention to that good, beautiful thought, just as much as you pay attention to your breathing, it's no longer just a thought. It's no longer an automatic thing. You are being on purpose, and that purpose is for an intention. And when you have an intention that is full of breath, that is all positivity, that is for the betterment of yourself, guess what? You are invoking a better life. You are invoking is to take something all the way in and put it all throughout you. You are invoking betterness in your life. Nothing can be better than that, I'm telling you. I can't believe it. We're at 51 minutes. Can you believe it? See, those 5 minutes when I talked about that bad, sad news, that despairing news, it was the heaviest part of this podcast, and it just took so much of it up. And now me having fun talking about breathing and talking about how to do it, how to manage your garden inside. And yeah, it's a garden. You can dig it. I know you can. Okay. That garden of yours, you're looking at it with all of its problems, and you're like, gosh, this guy won't even get to the sacred wisdom of a rock and a hard place. It's a good story. You got to go through every little bit. Every little pebble's important. So, what is it then? What are we doing? You're breathing and you're focusing on that. You're invoking only the good. You're invoking only the positive. You're even going to struggle. You're going to say, oh no, I can't. Your thoughts are going to come in and say, you don't know how to do that. Look at all your life. Look at all your worries. Look how far your dreams are. And you're going to say, damn it. You're going to bump your head on a mic. And you're going to mess up. And it's okay. And you're not going to judge yourself. And you're going to go back to your breath, and you're going to sigh, and you're going to let it out, and you're going to try again, and you're going to keep on trying again. And then you're going to find different methods, and you're going to pick up little things that help you, only you, right? Some people are going to hold a crucifix close to them. Some people are going to hold the picture of Jesus because they think the crucifix is a little rough to remember. Some people are going to hold a heart. Some people are going to hold a picture of someone they love, someone they lost, someone they're going to have, someone they do have. Some people are going to hold nothing. They're just going to hold themselves accountable, that they're the ones thinking, they're the ones in mind, but they won't judge themselves harshly. They'll say, I'm worthy of forgiving myself, and I'm worthy of taking a breath right now. And when you relax so well, when you breathe so well, when you focus so well that you can meditate for a minute, for two, for half a second even, with no thoughts interrupting you, because you've finally trained your mind to go, you know what? Once he gets here, once they start really focusing on breathing, ain't nothing gonna bring him out of it. Once you start taking that with you everywhere, that breathing on purpose is great, and you can just do it anywhere, something insane is going to happen. Something illogical. The rock that you are in this parable is going to turn into water. Does water get stuck between two hard places? No. It flows. It flows all the way down. It flows to the very center of gravity. It flows towards what it pulls, what is pulled by. It flows straight to the thing that says, come closer, come closer. It goes as close as it can to that. But once it's in the center of gravity, it just floats. It's just right there in the very core. You might even see it crystallize, but while being incredibly hot, super on fire. And yet it's solid at the same time, harder than the rock even. But yet there it is. And I'm talking more about physics. Forgive me. I'm talking more about the physics of what would happen if a droplet of water went to the core of the earth and there was nothing in its way to stop it. But if you're taking this parable literally, if you're taking this parable with a grain of salt and just as a normal person with very little, I don't want to be all bombastic and super imaginative. I don't want to be a crazy guy, like me. Breathing and meditating is just you relaxing, smoothing out the rough edges, and becoming water. It's just recognizing that you are more than a mind and more than a body. You are something that's making the heart pump. You are something that's making the lungs fill up and exhale. And if you think you're not the one doing that, okay, sure. Then you're an automatic being. You're just being automatic about all of it. If you do that, you might end up in a despairing situation, one that you can't get out of because you're stuck in a hard place as a rock. But that hard place, it's not made up of everything outside of you, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's everything that's solidified in your mind. And the brain is not meant to be solid. If you solidify your brain, you will die. I promise. In fact, if you get too hot and the sun cooks you, all that water gets dehydrated. You're dead before you're even done cooking. That's why you need water, because you're not a rock. You're not hard. Even the biggest bodybuilders, even the toughest muscles need air and water. They need to flow. And if you've ever seen a really big guy do yoga before for the very first time, you know what I'm talking about is flexibility. That's the ultimate workout. I'm trying. Yoga's tough, man. But International Yoga Day was yesterday, and I'm telling you, you should try it. If only to wait a whole year until the next one. International Yoga Day. Do a little bit. Do a little bit. Even just sitting down and taking a moment to breathe is yoga, because it's about seeking wisdom. It's about seeking the wisdom, not the strength, not the weakness, the wisdom. And we'll talk more about wisdom. We'll try and see if this is wise. I'd love to hear from you guys. We're reaching 60 minutes now, and I'm leaving everything in because you know what? It's important. It was neat. It was fun. It was inspired. So, be that. Be that. Are you a rock in a hard place? You don't know everything about that hard place, my friend, but you know it's hard. You know you're under pressure. So just sit and breathe. And when you're breathing, do not judge yourself for the thoughts you have. When you see all those thoughts happening, remind yourself, you're not those thoughts. You are the thing watching those thoughts. My name is Mario Velez. I'm comfy here, and I hope you are too. And I have been talking for an hour about how to do the next step above breathing, which is to watch, to give a little bit of attention to that breathing and to the thoughts that are happening while it happens. Don't judge yourself. I had to start too. Nobody starts perfect. It's not a thing. If it is, cool, kudos. Are we going to be jealous? What? No, we're going to be happy for him. Sweet, a miracle worker. What is that? That's crazy that he can just do that. So just breathe, my friend. And while those thoughts start becoming stronger, remember, it's just you becoming more sensitive to them. You're becoming more sensitive to what's been there the whole time. You're going to start feeling a little weird. Things are going to happen that you're like, what? How does this make any sense? And I'm not talking about you're going to see spirits or visions or nothing like that. I'm not talking about any of that. You're not even here for that. Okay. You're here to just feel a little better, feel a little bit more relaxed. You're here to just be a flower. You're just a flower. You're just trying to figure it out. You're trying to get some sunshine. I'm a bright person. I'll give you the light. I'm just telling you, just breathe a little. Just breathe a little. Step 2, just watch a little. Just a little bit of attention. Just watch. Watch a little bit. And just sit there watching the thoughts. Someday, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe instantly. Maybe you're just able to do this. That might be cool. Be open to the idea. But if not today, if not tomorrow, if not the next week, if not the next month, if not the next year, if not the next decade, one day, if you really try and invoke positive affirmations and really just try, just do it. And one day it's just going to click. And you're going to be like, oh, that one thing that keeps popping up. That's it. I'm not stuck on that. I can change my mind. But even cooler, I can put it down, especially if it's important. Are you a dad, a mom? Are you a doctor? Are you something important? Do you need to keep this mind sharp? Good. Hone it. Hone that blade. Keep on being sharp. But remember to breathe. Remember to breathe on purpose. And remember your thoughts are not all you are. And remember you've got to put them down sometimes, or you'll worry yourself to death. Or worse. You'll hurt everything around you because you're so sharp and you're so tough. But you have no control over how to do it. You have no control over the thing that's holding you. And you are the only thing holding yourself. You're the only thing holding yourself. You can say, oh, well, Jesus holds me up. Oh, well, the world holds me up. The community holds me up. Really? Look down. Look at your feet and stand up. If you can't, look at your ass, bro. What are you sitting on? That ain't anybody else's butt. It's nobody else's feet. If you got hands and no butt and you walk around on your hands, that ain't nobody else's hands. If you are lying down on your back, that is no one else's spine. If you are a head in a jar, you got the base of the head, at least. I don't know. You want to go ridiculous with this? If you are a brain inside of a jar and you can't breathe, then this podcast isn't for you. You're some weird experiment in the FBI facility that is being hidden right next to the alien that taught us that E.T. was a drama. You know, I'm telling you, okay? Just like, chillax. And breathe. And be. And remember, being doesn't mean stopping everything just so you can breathe. Being means you are not what is happening. You are the thing that watches what happens. You need me to say that again? I'll say it again. Being doesn't mean that you stop everything you're doing. Being means that you recognize and give attention to the unchanging truth that is, you are not what you have gathered. You are what watches what has gathered. You are what is gathering. And you must put it down, take a breath to pick it back up more efficiently, better, stronger, with ease. Many of you, I know I've gone over an hour. Forgive me. Hey, if you're still here, like, share, subscribe. You know how to do it. You know what you're doing. If you had a chuckle at all in this time, you got to like, share, and subscribe. Spread that laughter, man. If you cried because something deep touched you in this, you became inspired. You felt the Holy Spirit. You felt like a human being finally reached something that piques their humanity. Then you've got to share it. You've got to tell other people. You've got to tell them, look at this thing. Look at this guy. He's so whatever you want to say. And if you hate me, buddy, you got to keep track of me. You got to keep me in check, don't you? You already subscribed just to hate, right? Oh, man. Motorcycle. I love the dichotomy of that. But I won't get into it. It's been an hour. I think that's enough for today. It might seem like I'm going at a snail's pace, but do you really want to go faster right now? Take a minute, my friend. The word for this one was chillax. And the theme was we are automatic beings. We're automatically being rather than being automatic. Again, my name is Mario Velez. This has been Just a Flower podcast because you are just a flower, because I am just a flower, just happening on this earth. I love that you're watching. I love that anything happened here. I love that I even recorded this thing. I love that I'm doing this. I love it all. And I love you. Okay. There. I said it. Damn it. Now they're gonna think that I love people all the time. Yeah, I do. So go ahead and do what you will with this. But please, if you see someone who feels like a rock stuck between two hard places, give them this much. Give them a little bit. And if you can't share it with them, if they don't want to hear it, if they've seen too many bearded white dudes with glasses and they're just tired of men or whatever it is, okay, then you do it. You go ahead. This is very simple advice. It's very simple advice. Just breathe. Just take a minute. Just watch the thoughts. Don't layer them. Don't worry if you do. You've been doing it a while. Don't be hard on yourself. You're already hard. Don't take that out of context, please. And just watch. Just put a little bit of attention. After you're done having fun breathing, just a little bit of attention on your thoughts. I promise you're going to find out you are so much deeper than you ever thought you were. You might even feel... Oh, excuse me. Water. You might even feel like doing some more. You might even feel like getting up and doing more. You might even get up the next day and be like, oh, I'm so energized. I'm so energetic. You might even feel energized after the meditation. Be like, oh, this is a trick. I can just do this. You might think there's something in the air, which is a line from a poem I read in the first episode. You should probably watch that episode. It's pretty good. I'm just going to say it's good. I think it's cool. I think it's nice. Okay, you should watch it. But whatever it is, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, be kind to yourself. Put those thoughts down for a moment. If you catch yourself picking them up really quickly, it's okay. Put them down again and just breathe, my friend. I promise. I promise. Things are going to get better. Things are going to line up. I promise you. You're just going to feel better, even if the whole world goes to shit, even if all of it doesn't work out, even if you just get into a harder place. You will flow. You will become like water. And all of a sudden, you'll just slip by all those tough places. And you'll find a home somewhere. You will pool. And perhaps even mix with those just like you who have learned how to flow, who have learned how to breathe, who are learning still how to be. And then we can all together dive into a deeper mystery. I gotta say it again. Thank you. Thank you again. Love you. Take care, my flowers. And I will see you next time on Just a Flower podcast. Goodbye.